Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is where we fight. Let's talk about. I'm Joe. Sorry, I
I'm
distracted
Jordan.
myself a bit. Just carry on.
That was the
I just
weirdest
found out when.
moment.
I know. I'm sorry. I was not really focused. Are we on D Live now? Can anyone confirm?
I can confirm we are not. D Live, you're being silly again, as usual.
I've just reset it, so it should kick in.
Good
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. How are you? Hope you've all had a wonderful couple of weeks.
Did you have a nice break, Joe?
Not so much of a break. I did get a lot of stuff done, though, that I'd been unable to do. So in that respect, yes.
I had a grand total of 1 day off, and that was it.
Oh, no.
it didn't really work. This idea, we're going to have 2 weeks, not straight. I'm going to take it nice and easy, not do.
I don't know what you just said. You're like the harshest robot ever.
No, am I back?
Yeah, like literally all of that you just said. After you said, I've had a really busy 2 weeks, and then it just went, and D Live is back.
Yay,
So,
D Live is
yeah.
back. See, this, once again, the return of the tech boomers.
To be fair, it wasn't our fault. D Live was selected. It just didn't want to.
I agree with Andrew. We need a robot sticker.
Yeah, we really do. Anyway, yes, good evening, everyone. So, as Jordan just tried to say, but you probably didn't catch it, we've had a couple of weeks off. I think everyone needs a break once in a while to catch up on other things, and boy, we've caught up on loads. We will and make loads of announcements tomorrow on the show. But for today, we thought we'd ease back in with some headlines, and we're pretty incensed about what we've missed. In fact, it was the worst 2 weeks that we could have had off because the headlines have been crazy, absolutely crazy. So
I do find it ironic that the day after we took our break, just the world's news cracked open. It was next level amazing.
yes,
It's so good for a couple of days. What's wrong with you people? Do this a week earlier, please.
I know, it was weird because the week before we were struggling to find, because we obviously don't want to cover the news that everyone else is covering, although sometimes it's unavoidable. We wanted to try and do something different because otherwise it's just an echo chamber, right? And everyone's just talking about the same stuff. Well, not everyone, but quite a few people. So we struggled a bit. And it's just like news. There's loads of news, and we're not going live anymore. So yeah. Anyway, so on to the news. We've got a few stories we want to share with you, and well, let's make a start, shall we?
I believe we have a video first, do we not?
We'll
Which
do
way
the
round would
story
you like?
first.
Okay.
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to do the video first.
Lovely. The indecision.
No, we'll do the story first because the video really just reveals it all, doesn't it? Let's do the story first. Let's hear what ukgov.com has to say about this, and then we'll play you a video. So, more than 500 migrants make journey in 4 days. I mean, come on. This is supremely ridiculous.
It's almost as if they can't stop them.
I'm going to rant tonight. I'm not even joking. I'm so annoyed with this. All this, well, we're going to take harsh measures against this, and they're now giving COVID vaxes to undocumented migrants. I mean, carry on with that, but even so, they keep claiming they can't do anything. Like, we have a job and we can't do it. Then you deserve to lose the job, don't you?
Anybody else who was this useless at their job would be gone.
And the irony of someone defending the English borders and their surname is Patel. I mean, just to point out the obvious.
I have a wonderful quote. The Home Office confirmed French authorities have stopped 3,600 from making the journey so far.
Oh, 3 and 6.
Then what happened over this weekend where they just allowed them all through?
They took time off. They went on holiday. No, you can't go on holiday. You're not allowed. They went on strike. They do that a lot.
There's something else that's going on holiday, but we'll get into that later on.
So basically, the UK are paying France to stop these people crossing the channel. Somebody isn't doing their job. Somebody is taking a lot of money not to do their job.
Maybe they're just exceptional sailors. This is the thing. I don't know which part of the world these people come from. They look rather well tanned, so it may be like Sudan or somewhere like that. They must have a crack rowing team at the Olympics.
What do you mean before or after they get in the dinghy? Because they get in the dinghies in France.
Well, either. It doesn't matter. They must be amazing. Yeah, do a bit of the old kayaking. They'd be great. Gold medals.
I've got to say, these people must have like a compass in their head because even though the horizon is just completely flat when they first get into their French dinghies, they somehow always find Britain. I wonder how that happens. It's just like magic, right? I don't know. I've got a video to share with you. Maybe we can find some answers there. Here we go.
Please do.
Well, that answers a few questions, doesn't it? Can I just first say, before we start ranting about this, can I say a big thank you to Steve Laws, who is a wonderful activist. He's down at Dover almost every day, filming and reporting on this. So, yes, thank you, Steve Laws, for providing that footage for us. There you go. Now we know. So not only are we not preventing them from entering, we're actually collecting them and escorting them in. Brilliant.
I just noticed I don't know if it's the name of that vessel. I don't believe it is, but it had Seeker written on it.
Yeah, that's the name of the vessel.
That is indeed the name. Fair enough.
The irony is strong, isn't it?
The irony on so many levels is quite insane.
It's
poor migrants used as decoys by smugglers. Yes, indeed. These poor migrants. They're chucked overboard for the smugglers to smuggle their goods in.
It's just amazing that these people who break into our country are still seen as victims.
Oh yeah, the victimhood never ends.
I mean, if I want to illegally break into someone's home and someone aids me, am I a victim or an accomplice?
Both. Either. Why can it not be both?
Well, they're not being forced. This mainstream media narrative that these people have no choice but to illegally break into our country because there are no other options to them. There are options. Stay in the safe country you were in and stay the hell out of ours.
Alternatively, stay in your own country, make it better.
No, they won't do that, will they?
That's the thing that has separated normal nations from these sort of nations. We insert nation name here, sort of thing.
Well, it's true.
These people, they've got a history of not doing much of anything. And then as soon as somebody else has something better, they try and run in. They try and break their way in. Like, no, go away. Go fix your own place.
Well, they're literally forcing themselves on us, whether we like it or not. And they're being defended while they do it. And don't you dare complain. But the reality is, what gives anyone the right to force themselves onto another person's home? Or into another person's home? It's like having a squatter. They break into your house and they squat forever. And they won't leave and you can't make them. I did say I was going to rant tonight.
I'm sorry, I just... As soon as
genuinely tired of this.
As soon as you said squatter, I just got the phrase leg day pop into my head. Sorry.
Okay, anyway. Right, so...
It's the warm weather. I've got a heat stroke. Leave me alone. Anyway, society is becoming too divided. Here's one thing we can all do to fix it. The first thing you can do, Mr. Yates. Are those glasses? Or is that a weird, like, panda eyes from a suntan? I have to zoom in, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not being funny, but your potato internet is a bit fuzzy.
Wow.
Whoa! It looks like he's got two black eyes.
He's just got weird panda eyes going on there. Fair enough. Anyway.
Is that last night's makeup, John Yates?
I think Mr. Yates needs to go spend less time on the tanning bed or something. I don't know.
Maybe Mr. Yates would feel more at home somewhere else. Anyway, let's carry on. Look, you need to change the subject because I'm going to keep ranting about this.
We should be mandated at some point in our lives to spend time with people unlike us. Yes, you read that right, and yes, I mean it. Good. Please, Mr. Yates, go to Africa. Far away from me and normal people.
Mandated, huh? There's that word again. So we're not going to read this tosh from this person. No. But the upshot of this tosh is basically that the only way to fix society is to force people to not be with other people who are kind of similar to them. And that this should be mandated for everyone. The problem is...
article is just the most drivelly thing.
The problem is we are forced to be with people who are dissimilar to us, and we keep fleeing. That's what we do. We don't want to be with other people. When these people start dictating who you can associate with, that is the last bastion of freedom. The very last. Mm-hmm. So not only can you not decide who you don't want to spend time with, they now decide who you do spend time with. I'm so incredibly tired of these idiots telling everyone else what they should do. This is why I'm a libertarian.
And this is obviously saying as well.
Oh, they do mention Trump. I don't know what that's got to do with Britain. He's not even the president anymore. These people cannot let it go.
It has to do with anything. As you said, he's not there. He's not relevant. He's gone away. He's not. He's the bad man. No longer hurts you. Just stop picking at the scab. Weird people.
Orange man's still bad. Apparently, I don't know. I don't think they're ever going to leave Trump alone. Even though he demonstrably did more for black and ethnic minorities than he ever did for anyone else. But he's evil and racist and sexist.
He's going to be dead for like 20 years and still going to go on about him. Or the mean Mr. Trump when he did these things, and we're only just recovering.
Do you remember that one time he did that thing? Yeah, and they'll give you the date and the time and everything. It's amazing. Get over it. You're stalking him at this point.
Anyway,
weirdo.
In another wonderful article from The Independent, apparently, rise of a black queen, Jodie Turner and Berlin forces us to rethink our expectations.
No, and no, and no, it doesn't. I don't know who this person is. Apparently, they're an actor.
I love the bling. It's very, very like Tudor. Elizabethan.
Yeah,
definitely. 100%.
I'm sure we've all seen those pictures of Henry VIII with an 8, a big gold 8 with diamantes in it. This is amazing. But now I just want to say on the subject of blackwashing or whitewashing, I understand that people who are not European have been portrayed by Europeans for decades in movies. But guess what? We do that in our country because it's filled with people who don't look like you. You're coming to our country and doing it to us. Go do this in Africa. No one will mind.
Why?
No one will care.
Why do they insist then in showing the likes of Cleopatra as an Egyptian or an African when she objectively wasn't? She was Greek. Why do they insist on that? That's wrong. That's incorrect.
To be fair, Elizabeth Taylor was quite pale when she played her.
I would grant that. Fair enough. Elizabeth Taylor, she gets a pass.
But the historical portrayal of her, yes, I do agree. I do agree. So, yeah. So basically, don't come into our house and change our history. We don't like it. We don't want it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, and also the writer's name is Olivette Otelli. There you go.
But
You
the series could be seen as destroying the last safe space for those nostalgic of a certain kind of past. I,
no,
for one, welcome that opening.
no, we're not nostalgic for a certain kind of past. It's reality.
It's literally the past. It is history. It is what was.
Battlecat says, she said in an interview that playing a queen came naturally to her, hinting at African royal lineage. BS, of course. Well, if she does have African royal lineage, then she's probably related to, God help me, slave traders. Just saying.
It's always interesting.
African people were
Sorry.
sold by someone before they were bought by someone.
It's always interesting how they like to go on about I can't remember his damn name. The Mali king.
The who now?
The Mali king was exceptionally rich, like unbelievably rich, to the point that when his caravan went through Egypt in order to go to Mecca and do the Hajj thing, he basically bankrupted a part of the Ottoman Empire because he just spent so much money. It caused ungodly amounts of inflation. That's
Brilliant.
how much money he had. And
do it again.
if only, they love to say that he was so incredibly rich. But what they don't like to tell you is that Timbuktu made almost all of its money trading slaves to the Ottomans. That's what it was. It was a massive slave trade.
It's been established that all the black people sold into slavery were sold by other black people.
Of course they were. It's common sense. What do they think happened? Do they think Europeans rocked up, ran into the jungle with a net and just started catching them like bloody fish?
No, unlike the Slav slavery, the white slavery, where people were actually kidnapped and taken as slaves, these people were sold. They were already slaves before they were bought by others.
I agree with Colonel Custer that this is the sort of thing that's so incredibly obnoxious. It rubs the average person up the wrong way really, really badly. And it does wake people up. It starts to annoy people. It grates on them.
It does, because this denies the whole entire diverse premise of live and let live. This is not live and let live. This is everything you've got we want, and we're going to take it from you. And if you dare to complain, we're going to call you names. That's where we're at.
And this is all entirely possible because of the extreme right-wing bias in the media. Lovely segue that was. That was actually smooth.
That was excellent. But you picked me to the post because I had one more comment that I wanted to include, please. So, Bastard of Modernity, what a name, says the Islamic world castrated Africans and used them for chattel slavery. Yes, I'm sure most people are aware of this now. This was a very well-hidden secret when I was a child. Mm-hmm. What did you know about the Barbary slave trade before you started to investigate history a bit more?
The Barbary slave trade itself, nothing.
You were never taught in school, was it?
No. I was never taught that at school, but I did know that the Ottomans had an incredible number of slaves, and I don't really know why this is passing most people by. But this is one of those weird things. I wasn't taught at school. I learned things myself, my own way. I don't know how this has passed people by. It genuinely baffles me. What do they think these people did? Everyone was in on the game at the time. You look at Chinese history and it mentions slaves. You look at Indian history up until, when was it? They got rid of the caste system. The early 70s. They had the untouchables. And while they weren't exactly slaves, they weren't terribly much better.
No, but this has always been about a target, and the target is Europeans or people of European descent. And it's all about priming them for what we're going through right now. Mm-hmm. Softening them up, beating them down. You're responsible and you're guilty, and you need to do something to redress it. And all of this guilt and all of this, these attacks and these accusations have all been to soften people, so that when it came to real tyranny, and when it came to really standing up for your rights and standing up for yourself, they've got nothing left. Mm-hmm. We were being primed for decades to be in the place we're in now. where many people just roll over. They literally support people who want us enslaved, and they literally support people who want us to go away, to disappear, to no longer be. And they do this knowing that they are inviting it, because they've lost their spine or their backbone or whatever you want to call it. But this is years and years of conditioning. And I would say to anyone who thinks they can be British or any other nation, if you want to be like us, act like us. There's so much. Don't even start me on the fish.
Oh, please do.
You live on an island. Why don't you fish? Why don't you build irrigation? Instead of walking 20 miles with a bucket of water on your head, why don't you build some pipelines? Billions of pounds in aid for decades, and you haven't built a pipe.
Just
or a ditch.
Just run down to B&Q, lads. It'll be all right.
Seriously. And you sit there and you whine. Oh, the UK doesn't send us enough money. Guess what? You're not our responsibility. Nobody alive today was in your country. And the people who were are nothing to do with the regular people of the UK.
This is where I'd like chat, especially on DLive, to post the wonderful sticker of the Chinese men, please, from the Empire of Dust. I almost called it the Empire of Dirt. That's copywritten by AVE. Definitely not that one. Just because a video documentary, I'm not sure what to call it. People desperately need to watch that.
Yeah.
It was such a good thing. And I work out if it was meant to be a comedy, if it was just a natural effect of what it was.
Sorry, Roy Boss. No, it wasn't aimed at you. Pirate voice. Yar. I promise it wasn't aimed at you. But seriously, get off your backsides and be better. If you want things that we have, you have to earn them, just like we did. Stop whining that you have nothing when you do nothing. That's it, rant over, I'm done. Anyway, moving on.
That was my inclusive clap.
Thank you.
I should have done jazz hands. I
was just going to say, yeah. Oh my God, I'm triggered.
Anyway, right-wing bias of British media machine makes Boris Johnson stoppable. Call affairs. First things first, Boris Johnson is about as right-wing as Tony Blair. Secondly, maybe, just maybe, Labour and the Lib Dems, if you want to play this game, maybe Labour and the Lib Dems should actually put up decent people and policies instead of whatever nonsense they're touting today. What's the latest insanity from Labour? Let's find out. Carry on, Joe.
Before you do that, yes, I want to bring up a comment from Monty. Thank you for this, Monty. Don't forget the Vax conspiracy. What was it? Whatever. The Vax conspiracy tonight on Channel 4 at 9 p.m. This is apparently a documentary featuring heavily Piers Corbyn. And the consensus is it may well be a hit piece. So I don't know if anyone wants to watch it. I don't know if anyone wants to maybe do a review of it. That would be quite interesting. But
to be fair, when they do... Sorry,
go on. Sorry. No, go
on.
When
they do hit pieces on our sort of people, we typically come out smelling of roses.
We do, and I'm not saying it is a hit piece, but it is Channel 4.
It really looks it from the tweet that I've seen them put out and the Instagram post. It stinks of one from here to my heaven, quite honestly.
Well, there you go. Just going back to, very quickly before you carry on, to this point from Hasdak, I'm concerned about all the Asian people from Hong Kong who may be on the way. So 3 million apparently we're taking. Well, there's also another 3,000, was it, I said? Afghani interpreters.
Yes.
That the UK has decided to take in. Again, they've bankrupted the country. The younger generations are going to be paying off this debt forever, this debt that they didn't ask for because it was done to them. And now they're bringing in another 3,000 people. And the reality is, loads of people have entered this country before lockdown was imposed. The borders have never been closed, and we are paying for strangers right now. We're not even paying for British people or people who have a right to be here. Just every random Tom, Dick and Harry who's turned up since last January. all these people taking and taking and taking. And we know what's going to happen. The stealth tax is going to happen, like the climate change tax is the stealth tax. No, the things that we're being taxed for are not the things in reality that they're claiming.
I see that Birmingham have started up a congestion zone as well.
Well, Birmingham's complaining about rancid air. I briefly looked at it.
Well, okay, just for a general sort of background to this, I don't know entirely what's going on in Birmingham. They've introduced some sort of congestion zone. So you drive to the city centre, you have to pay. Whatever, fine. The way they marked this was by releasing grey smoke into the air. And this was in an effort to show how much carbon dioxide they're saving, or nitrous oxide, whatever, how much poisonous gas they're saving people from breathing in. What the hell is in the gas that they're releasing? Or the smoke they're releasing? Surely that's going to be carbon in some capacity. It's not just blue powder they're throwing into the air.
It could be just blue powder, but then that would be them doing something and it's actually true what they're doing and what they say they're doing match.
But it'd be bloody expensive.
When does that ever happen?
It's that as well, but it'd be bloody expensive. I just brought the Labour website up so we can see what they stand for. As you can see, they stand for taking your data, meeting this weird pedo protector, finding your local Labour representative, which is a nice thing to do. Why you would ever want to find one, I don't know.
No, that's defunct because it says your representative.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Is there anyone in Labour that represents us?
Well, it's not just that. I don't have a Labour representative. They're not around me, and it's rather pleasant.
Well, none of them, regardless of where they are, none of them represent me. Why join Labour? Why indeed?
Join our people-powered movement. Labour is made up of over 500,000 members determined to transfer it. It's simple and affordable to become a member, and it unlocks a ton of opportunities.
Is that what they say at the border?
They have a little man.
Welcome to Britain. Welcome to Britain. Ignore the paperwork. If you're here and you're determined to transform Britain, it's cheap and affordable for you. Oh my God, I'm so ranting. I'm sorry, everyone. I don't know. I'm just so tired of all these stories. I best get it off my chest because tomorrow's the community stream. We're all about solutions. Tonight is rant.
I have to say, this is an all website. I don't know how much money they've paid. They paid it to Brian Evans.
David Evans. You just made a word up.
I don't even know why. I just saw Evans and I was like, sounds like a Brian. That'll do.
Don't care what your name is. You're Brian now.
Well, is it? Look, I only pay attention to people's names who I actually have respect for.
What, like that person, Shadow Cabinet, Mr. Cabinet?
Let's have a look at them.
Oh God!
This says everything you need to know.
Oh God!
Heck. David, you're a bit shiny.
When you see them all in a row, it's just oh my God! Oh, this is the group of people holding the government to account.
Ed Miliband is there. I didn't realise he was still around as a Shadow Cabinet geezer.
I can't think which one's which. Is he Wallace or Gromit?
He's an idiot. There you go.
Emily Curry. Wow, I'm surprised she's still around after she's basically said she wouldn't deliver Brexit. How do you still have a job, love?
How are there so many Shadow Cabinet ministers? How? Is this half the Labour Party? This is actually the entirety of the Labour Party.
It's half the freaking country.
Shadow Minister for Immigration must be busy, love.
Busier than Patel. But at least she's doing something. They want them to come in.
Bambos here looks like he's in for some seriousness.
Charalabom. What's his name? Bambos Charalabombos. What's his name? Charalambus. Bambos Charalambus.
I've never heard of this man.
What is going on?
I've never heard of. To be honest with you, most of these Labour MPs, these must be the MPs that just prop bar up.
These must be just the people who turn up for work, because this is a low bar.
Shadow Minister for the Cabinet Office.
What does that even mean?
Are they just handing out Green New Deal and energy?
Do you know what? You know that one
never
Vicky
saw that.
Foxcroft? I thought that said Shadow Minister for Flexibility. It's really tiny writing in my defence.
I believe that position was taken up by Diane Abbott, was it not?
Jess Phillips Teeth.
Jeremy Corbyn.
Oh God! Look at the state of it.
How many? They've got so many ministers. This is insane. These must be junior ministers.
Well, we all know what happens in Labour-controlled boroughs as well, don't we? So they're obviously very busy covering up crimes against children.
These have to be junior ministers. There's no way they have this many ministers for various. It is completely irrelevant.
Yasmin Qureshi is a Shadow Minister for International Development. Shadow Minister for Victims and Youth Justice. Shadow Minister for Green Transport. Mike Payne, Shadow Minister for Aviation and Maritime. Well, you're out of a job, aren't you, love?
Shadow Minister for Victims and Youth Justice. Are you going to be taking on your boss?
Well, the thing is, you're going to have to be uncovering the crimes that the rest of your MPs are covering up. How's that going to work? Are you a whistleblower, Anna McMorrin? Amazing.
Whatever. Anyway, back to the actual story.
Yeah,
unless you want to mock these some more.
I've got a few comments I'd like to read, actually. Hashtag says, the borders are never closed, never. Made in Cornwall says, 18 million came in last year in the lockdown. It doesn't surprise me. Barn Door, this might be my favourite. Might as well rename the Conservatives Thomas Cook. Rory says, I don't think their names are Tom, Dick or Harry. No, they're not, but they are all doctors and engineers. We've been assured of that. Let's have a look. What else we got?
We have Chief Scientist, Shadow Minister for Science, Research and Digital, joint with Department of Digital, Culture, Media and Sport.
How are they even linked? Made in Cornwall, I can't tell you what the Birmingham Air is filled with, and I can't put that one up on the screen, unfortunately, although I suspect this one will be taken down.
We've been well behaved.
I'm glad you like the rants. I've tried to be very careful. Unfortunately, we cannot just get things off our chest. We've been suppressed for so long. I'm glad you've enjoyed it, Sir France. I'm trying to get it all out of my system tonight because we've got serious business to get on with. The monsters. There you go, Rob Dees. Describe them perfectly. Roy
trust
says,
the monsters more than those people.
Very poor dating site. The undateable, says Bandor.
It's like the world's worst Tinder page.
I genuinely hope that's sarcasm, although David Lammy would be an excellent PM. I mean, the fun would never end, would it?
He was a very shiny boy in that picture. He just greased himself up before he took it.
My favourite clip of David Lammy is where he's bemoaning the fact that there are no police officers around and there's one literally standing in the background.
There's a lot of really good things from David Lammy. I was about to say pictures, and I don't know why. But anyway, there's loads of good things.
Okay, I'm just running through the chat, and then we'll carry on. Jess Phillips, Muslim liaison, says, "Pagan man." Does anyone remember when this No Outsiders thing came out, and she had to choose? Do you remember that? She's like, "Oh God, the
Don't
gay
let me
people or the
choose.
Muslims? The gay people or the Muslims?" It's when you create victimhood status. Unfortunately, there's a pecking order. And yes, Albert Hunter. Good point. They're all just actors. They are. Of course they are.
Indeed they are, but they're fun to mock every now and then.
Phyllis Beck
I,
says Pepe Johnson.
I desperately want this picture of David Lammy. I can't get a big picture.
Oh
This
no.
is despicable.
Right. Okay. I'm almost caught up. Almost. Right. I'm caught up. We've seen David Lammy's appearance on Mastermind. I've got to say, the build up to it was much more entertaining than the reality.
Yeah, the
But
reality was disappointing and sad.
to find out he's as thick as we expected was not really a shocker. I don't know. It just goes to show that you don't actually need intelligence or common sense to be an MP these days.
I have to apologise.
Roy Bob's asking, what picture are you looking for?
I'm looking for this picture. I want it in big boy fashion.
What, you want this picture in big boy fashion?
Absolutely.
That you're showing now?
Yes, because it's tiny. It's the size of a postage stamp.
Oh, fair enough.
He looks... I don't know. There's so many things to say. Anyway, moving on from that.
Yes.
Is this well enough covered? We've said everything that needs to be said on this, have we not?
Just one quick thing from Rob D that just popped up. Have you seen the video with Ian Collins from Talk Radio and Norwich City Councillor Leslie Graham? Beautiful. Haven't seen it, actually, Rob. If you've got a link and you'd be willing to share it in the chat, we'd love to have a look. Thank you very much. Thanking you in advance. Okay, let's crack on with this one and see what this caller believes. Oh, am I doing this?
Yes.
This is professional TV people.
Well,
Okay.
fair enough, I'll do it. This caller believes that the power of the media machine over the British public is responsible for Tory dominance in Westminster. Once again, nothing to do with the fact that Labour, for the absolute farce that is Labour, is appalling. Nothing to do with that at all. It's just the media, the evil right-wing media.
Well, can I just make the point that we are also bemoaning the fact that the media are not holding anyone to account, because we know that the media are corrupt and they've been bought off. This person thinks they're right-wing because they're not holding anyone to account. We agree that the media are doing what she's accusing them of, just not for the same reason.
It's weird how they play these mental gymnastics, because on one hand they say that people who like Boris, and Boris himself is much like Trump, and his supporters are much like Trump supporters. The thing that Trump supporters are branded the most are idiots because they think the media is fake news. My general point is, how exactly can people who think the media are fake news simultaneously believe or have a media that pushes their own agenda? The logic just fails me.
Exactly. The media can't be on our side because the media are not on anyone's side. They're on their own side. Mm-hmm. And they print what they want to print and they follow their own agenda, and they already know what they're going to print well in advance. They're not reporting news anymore. We've mentioned this before, but investigative journalism is dead. All you've got now are activists with opinions.
Yeah. The only, as far as I'm aware anyway, the only investigative journalists going at the moment are Project Veritas.
Yes. Yeah, fair play. I'll concede that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you challenged when I said no one, and you are correct. There is at least one.
I didn't expect it, but yes, that's it. As far as I'm aware, I don't know of anybody else who really goes into detail like they do and actually do the legwork.
But again, when the media don't do what you want, to accuse them of being on the other side. I mean, if we're going to talk about this liberal cupped media, something appeared on my newsfeed that I found so incredibly disgusting. So disgusting, in fact, I made Jordan read it too, because I was sharing the trauma. Any of you with a smartphone will have your built-in news app, or especially those of you with an iPhone, there's a built-in news app, and it's provided by them. It's not something you need to find or get or download. And on this particular story, and I'm going to be very careful what I say here, although it might be too late for this stream.
No,
They were
this
talking
stream
about
is still going just fine.
there's a publication called Mic, M-I-C. I'd never seen them before. There was no subscription thing. And basically, the headline was, in fact, let me find the headline and I'll read it out to you, if I must. It's literally disgusting because anyone with a smartphone could see this. So this is children. And of course, we do not want children reading about this stuff. I'm not going to put the link in the chat because I don't want to make you all feel sick. But here is the headline. Is anal training the latest pandemic trend? And this author is essentially congratulating people who have been training their bottoms during the lockdown as like a public service so that they can have more anal sex. And this, it's not funny. I'm fuming. This was on my newsfeed. This could have been on a child's newsfeed. This stuff is there for children to read. And the thumbnail picture is of I'm thinking it's a fluffy butt plug, but I'm not sure. It could be a bulb. Anyway, like a tiny one. Anyway, whatever. The point is disgusting. This is the right-wing media that this idiot's complaining about. I'm so disgusted by this because children have smartphones. Fat Girl says that's not where babies come from. But genuinely, this person was stretching themselves so that they could be better.
There's something about this article that just makes me laugh.
Do you want the article so you can see?
No, I'm good.
No, I was going to ask the chat. Chat, do you want this article so you can look at the fluffy thing on the thumbnail? One in the chat if you want this disgusting piece of rubbish. I'm genuinely. Why are you laughing? I'm enraged.
It's not funny, but it is.
Well, this is your right-wing media, everyone. Yeah, everyone's saying do not want. Okay, take my word for it. Nasty, vile, unnecessary. It wasn't Owen Jones.
Amazingly, it wasn't, guys.
I can't remember the name of the author, and I'm not looking at the article again to find out. So, but it definitely wasn't Owen Jones, although he probably helped research it or something. Oh, God. Anyway, right, moving on.
What do you mean helped? He probably volunteered.
Oh.
It was written by Tracy and Duncan. There you go. Let's see what else is. Oh, flipping heck. I'd rather not. Right.
Okay, so anyway, back to the story. Sorry about that, everyone. No one was eating.
This is brought to you by the woman who wrote, WTF is shrinkflation. Why your favourite products are getting smaller and more expensive. Love, that's literally called inflation. You don't need to invent a word for it. You're not intelligent enough to do such a thing. Please stop treating baristas like robots because you saw it on TikTok. And how to find a great tattoo artist and get the ink you want.
Wow.
Oh, here we go. A pandemic-era guide to consensual hugging.
Yeah,
I must find out more.
So we've established that she is incredibly useless and probably doesn't deserve whatever she's being paid. These people are just activists with opinions.
Oh, I have to read this. When faced with the open arms of a smiling acquaintance saying, "Come on, get in here," my first instinct is to run away. Because no, we don't know each other like that, and I do not want your dead skin cells to shed onto me.
Wow, this person has
TYSM, whatever the hell that stands for.
Thank you so much.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that as a guess. Is it?
I think you may actually be right. That was incredible. That was like some countdown stuff right there.
Yeah, well, just enjoy because it won't happen again. Anyway, yes, that's disgusting. She has got serious issues. But these people are traumatized. I do genuinely believe these people are suffering. All these kind of snowflakey people, I genuinely believe they're suffering from some form of PTSD. They cannot cope with life or reality.
Oh my. Okay. The same woman also write, neo-pronouns are the next step in the gender revolution.
Oh, whatever. We don't care. Call yourself whatever you want. Don't force us to do the same. End of. There's your solution. Moving on. They don't honour anything. They're just words. Hi, my name is Tangerine. I use go/ghost pronouns. Your gender is ghost. Where's an exorcist when you need one? For goodness sake.
What is with these people?
Roy says, as long as she calls herself a cab, I don't mind. Well, unfortunately, Philomena, given the way she spelled honour, she appears to be in the United States, so we can't deport her.
No, we can still deport her. Let's look. I'm just saying, the
we
American
can prevent
government,
her from entering our country, though.
the American government has completely failed. I believe it is time for a re-invasion. We need to get back the 13 colonies and set them on the straight and narrow once again. Just saying.
I've got to say, with Sniffer Joe in charge, I'm very concerned for the future of the United States.
Talking of the US, actually, we have another article about that.
Oh, before you skip over that, Guy Fawkes says, my daughter is in the RAF. They've been told they have to put their pronouns in their email addresses. For God's sake, do they not have more important things to worry about? Like, I don't know, defending their country. Oh, that reminds me. That reminds me. I must talk about this. I saw the most cringe advert for the army last night. It was forced on me because I don't watch adverts generally. I'm going to read it to you because I wrote it all down. Oh, because I was so genuinely shocked by what I read, and now I can't find it. Typical. I will find it, promise. Right, here we go. Found it. Okay, you've got this like supremely homosexual narrator doing the voiceover for this army advert. This is the British Army. What's our most important weapon? Failure. Fail, learn, fail again, learn more. Army, be the best. I'm not even joking. That was the entire advert.
I have the video if you want. Yeah,
please do. It's. Okay. I don't think I did justice. I can't do a gay accent, so sorry, everyone.
Worryingly enough, it's actually a woman speaking, I believe.
No, it's an effeminate man.
That's terrifying if true.
Well, everyone listen, and you can decide.
If that's true, I apologise.
Oh.
That's.
Right, let's have a listen.
Given my potato internet, do you want to play the video?
Yeah, drop me the link, please, because that's terrible.
Yeah. But that's what I thought. My internet, it can do many things. Work is not one of them.
It does work.
Well, kind of sometimes. It pretends to.
Right, okay, let me get this.
I agree with Roy Bob. You don't learn from messing up throwing a grenade. Not the language you use, but close enough.
Well, yeah, that's a bit of a one-way street, isn't it? Right, I've got this set up. Okay, brilliant.
Good. I need to watch this as well.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not going to be able to find the link again.
What do you mean? I just sent it to you.
Again.
Oh no. You infinite tab.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, we'll see what we can do.
Joe will find it eventually. She has about 12,000 tabs open.
I've only got 213 open.
Oh, bloody hell! That's actually more than I've ever had open. That's some doing. I'm impressed.
Right?
Well done.
Can everyone see this?
No. Not a thing.
Damn! I've got to come off this now to do the thing, and I'll never find the tab again.
What? There we go.
Yeah, but now I've got to find the tab to actually play it.
It's I believe in you.
I'm going to have to like remove loads of tabs. Can I just close all the tabs? Oh, hang on. What's this?
If you close all the tabs, you're going to close the
There's a
screen.
search tab thing. Oh, thank you, Brave. You can actually search for the tabs you can't see.
I forgot to tell you about that.
Oh, wow. That's brilliant, isn't it? That's actually really useful. Okay.
Roy has said Joe is the reason the internet runs slowly. I agree, mate. She has all tabs. She's stealing the internet from me.
Yes, I'm sorry. I have all the tabs. Okay, is everyone ready?
Aye, aye.
What's the first step towards victory? Failure.
This isn't the
You
right one.
fail.
Come on, keep going.
You learn. So you can win when it really matters. What's our most powerful weapon? Failure. Fail. Learn. Fail again. Learn more. And then win when it really matters.
Yeah.
Joe said that was the wrong one. I believe her.
No, the first one was the wrong one. The second one was the one I was talking about. So that was
Either
correct.
which way, I don't approve of that at all.
I did say it was a gay man. I'm sorry. I think that's a gay man.
No, that's
Oh.
definitely a woman.
No way.
That definitely is a woman. That's a very husky-voiced woman.
No way.
Chat agrees with me. That's a woman.
No, what? Come on,
look,
chat.
I agree with Guy Fawkes on this one. Look up the comparison video of the Russian Chinese in comparison to the UK and US. I don't know terribly much about the US. I will say, though, that I've seen one advert from the American Air Force. The most mind-blowing thing ever. It was this geezer on the back of a Hercules, and he was firing out these bloody grenades out of the back, and it just looked amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's what all advertisements to join the military should be. Here is an exceptionally powerful vehicle firing these little death bombs into the desert floor. Heck yeah, I'm into that.
Well, yes, as English will says, you fail, you're dead. Bullets are real. You're not selling shoes.
Exactly.
But you're also talking about people with. I mean, I really do have an issue with people with mental health issues being trained with weapons, and this is common sense. I'd no more have someone like that be run security on my property than have access to an automatic machine gun or something. It's ridiculous. These people cannot cope with reality. They just can't. Especially when you look at the people who are transgender. These people don't see reality. But we're going to give them weapons and training and hope that they don't do something they shouldn't. It's just really amazing. But I saw that, and I just thought, they're literally telling people to fail. Like the British Army used to be revered around the world, used to be respected, and now it's just a holding pen for the fringe of society, for people who don't fit in anywhere else. I don't know. It's a bit concerning. I don't suppose the British Army is the only one doing
No,
it.
I think most of the West is that way.
But they've definitely lowered the bar for applications. I mean, what do you need to be a police officer these days? And not the ability to run or be fit or be a certain size or a certain height. Bending the knee, that's obviously part of the criteria. Painting your nails. What else do you need to do to become a police officer? Oh, you have to learn all that critical race theory and all this common purpose stuff.
You have to have a degree as well nowadays.
Yeah. A degree
Which
in
is
what?
the weirdest
Gender
thing.
studies. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. These people will not protect us. They can't protect themselves. They do not have a relationship with reality. These are the same people that are embracing the current tyranny. You think they're going to protect you from it when push comes to shove?
Forget embracing the current tyranny. These are the people pushing for it.
Well, yes, promoting it as well as embracing it.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's very concerning. But it's also, we were talking about this the other night, weren't we? And, you know, when you join the army, you become a family. This is an intimate thing because you are sharing quarters and you are going through some of the most horrific things you'll ever experience as a team, as a community. And your family all become part of this community. And yet you've got people in there with mental health issues. It cannot work. It's doomed to fail.
Which is exactly what they want. They want it to fail. They want it to become a laughing stock because then you have no pride in it. Then you're not going to join it.
Exactly.
Then
I
that
mean,
makes you weak and vulnerable.
well, we hear all these stories about soldiers that return home with PTSD. They can only talk to their brothers. Well, it used to be brothers. They can only talk to them about this. They don't tell their family because they're ashamed. They're ashamed of either being frightened or they're ashamed of what they've seen or what they've had to do to survive. That's all going to come to an end. So all of the support they used to get is now gone. Because once again, when you push people who are not the same into a group, you divide that group. It happens in every possible situation. And this is about force. This is about you have no choice. And that's the ultimate tyranny, taking away your choices. Anyway, back to the stories, Jordan. What have you got for us next?
Okay, next up, we have got something that I need to go and find.
Okay.
I have to shut down the picture of David Lammy dressed up like whatever the hell that was. Oh, I remember what it was.
He's probably slowing down your internet.
Well, he probably is. He's a large file type, isn't he? Where is that video? Oh, not video, that article I sent you earlier on about Amazon.
Oh,
Here it is. Right, I've got it.
okay.
Right. This is actually kind of important. I'm not sure if we have to deal with it ourselves, because you said you were looking into it.
Yes.
And you can't find out how to opt out. It may be a thing that hasn't come here yet. But Amazon customers in the US have 1 week to opt out of mass wireless sharing. The general gist is they're going to connect all devices. They're going to set up a mesh network. And what this will enable, basically, as far as I can tell at any rate, is you're going to be able to go anywhere within your city and connect to the items that you have at home. The problem is that means that if you know
Anyone
what
else
you're doing,
can.
exactly, if you know what you're doing, anyone else can get into anything. The Ring doorbell, I constantly bash this poxy thing whenever I see it. Run away. It is the stupidest idea I've ever come out with. Let's have a wireless, like a wireless security camera. There's no possible way somebody can hack into that. It's not like it's the world's easiest bloody security flaw.
I have one of those, I'm ashamed to say. I bought it for good reasons, and I now only use it as a doorbell, so I don't record or do anything on it. But the reality is, and I don't have any of the other things inside my home, so all you could do was record my front doorstep, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Or you could record audio, I guess, couldn't you? But I don't tend to stand on my doorstep giving away, my card numbers or anything, or my PIN. But even so, you could listen to conversations. You could listen to conversations. But I'm more concerned with things like Alexa was one that you mentioned. Basically, any device or any product that is created by Amazon is going to be part of this network.
Indeed. And that's how it's going to start. And without a doubt, as this goes on, more and more things are going to be added into it. They're going to have some sort of partnership with LG, for example. And then it will be all LG TVs are brought into it as well.
Oh, that's a good point. What is my TV? Mine is Hitachi.
Hitachi!
Very private information I just shared with you all there.
Well, we're going to hack into it now. We're going to find out your viewing things.
Oh, well, you pretty much already can guess what the kind of things I look at. That dodgy article from earlier, notwithstanding, that was just an error. I promise. But yeah, this is scary. This is again. This is forced connection. They're forcing this on everyone, and what's going to happen is it's creating yet another monopoly. Because when you have so many things under the control of so few, you've got to trust that these people are not corrupt or corruptible. And we know they are. We know that they all are. It's interesting this comes along at around the same time as they're announcing this digital trust network. So, you know.
Ooh, interesting. What's going on here?
We should.
Okay, yeah, that I know about. Sorry, the BT thing here caught my attention, but yeah, I did know about that. I wouldn't say that's. I suppose it is kind of the same, but not really, because that wasn't connecting direct devices.
No, that's sharing bandwidth.
That was just sharing. Exactly, that was just sharing a small amount of your home bandwidth with other people. But that's not the same.
Yeah, but that's still anonymous, though, isn't it? Yes, we should be boycotting Amazon. This is the reason why we've been on at people for the last year. If you have a business idea, get it up and running, and we will promote the hell out of it, and we will share it everywhere we can. We've got to start creating the things that we need and stop using these big corrupt companies. You know, people like Jeff Bezos made fortunes last year while other people's businesses were closing. The richest people in the world got much, much richer last year. And not even the poorest. The people who were trying to pull themselves up just got absolutely slaughtered. And this is how it's always going to be. Take care, Guy Fawkes. Have a good evening.
See you,
Matt. Dissident.
Yeah, when you look at how much...
Go on, sorry.
When you look at how much land Bill Gates bought up last year, now the largest private landowner of farmland in the US, it's phenomenal.
And do you know what Bill Gates has to do with that land, don't you? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just nothing.
I believe that is his plan.
Just do nothing with it.
I don't.
Other people can't farm it, and it could have been producing food, and now it won't.
Yeah, because as he said many times before, his real money-making thing is not Microsoft, it's not the vaccines, it's none of that. It's the artificial food. So now here's a man who's bought up an incredible amount of farmland, let alone the companies that he owns, that owns farms. He probably has a lot of those. He, whenever he feels like he can just say, bang, we're not producing. Suddenly, let's say 3% of American farmland just stops producing. That's a lot of food that's just no longer there. Where's it going to come from?
Farmers are actually being bribed into destroying their produce, whether it be animal or green food. They're being told that they'll be subsidised to destroy it way above the normal rate, but they've got to destroy all their crop or all of their animals or all of their byproducts like eggs or milk in order to get this payment. And many of them are taking it because they're just being pushed into a corner. We know about Monsanto. We know what they do, where they drop their GMO seeds into someone's field and then accuse them of stealing it.
Allegedly.
This is a monopoly. This is absolute corruption out in the open. These people do not care anymore that we know because we can't stop them. Or they believe we can't stop them. Dissident 101 says, my Alexa got red-pilled listening to the toaster. Gates does want to starve us. We all know what Gates wants. He's been very open about it in the past. 95%, I believe, was the number he quoted. Bandor says they're paying off old farmers to retire in the UK. And again, who's buying up that land? Yet the price of land has
I want
just
to.
bounced.
I would desperately love to find out how to become a farmer. I think the only way to do it, basically, is just have a heck of a lot of money in the first place.
Roy Bob says, leaving out agricultural land to go fallow is against the law in the UK. I'm sure it'd be getting the same in the USA until the people that are in his pocket change the law.
Is it Is it against the law?
I'm assuming Roy Bob knows what he's talking about. But even if that's so, it's also against the law to engage an entire population in a clinical trial, and yet it's still happening.
The reason I ask that is because for years and years and years, they were getting paid to leave land to go fallow. And I have a number of farms around me that are fallow. So
Phyllis Bear says Bill Gates got mad because his boyfriend left him.
don't make him angry.
Sorry, Roy Bob. Yeah, they sue farmers because of cross-pollination. But either way, they make it happen and then they sue them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're not getting Andrew. But good point, Philomena. Yeah, they do want, of course they do. They want all of it. They don't want it because they want it. They want it so we can't have it. So we can't use it. Norse Nature says local farms in my area are being sold off to build apartment complexes for Mexican immigrants. It's infuriating. The amount of green land that has been appropriated for housing projects is just amazing right now. There is going to be a shortage of actual open spaces. It's just going to be building after building. Hasdak's asking, don't English heritage, sorry, it jumped, have farms to rent?
They do.
We did read that.
They do have farms to rent. You have to have, varying qualifications and a business plan and all the rest of that jazz money as well in order to rent off of them. But English Heritage are also going to be leaving, I think it was 10% of their lands to go fallow. They're going to return them to nature.
And just a reminder, is that not what the EU did to our fishermen? Didn't they pay them to throw back fish?
Yep.
They set quotas. They paid fishermen, we know this for a fact, they paid fishermen to destroy their boats. They paid them instead of allowing them to fish and earn money for themselves because they knew they could withdraw it at any time. And when they withdrew it, these fishermen had no other option because they destroyed the thing that was making them money in the first place.
Exactly.
This is why you can't accept this idea of the state paying for everything, because what they can give, they can take away. We need to be independent of the state. We need to be masters of our own income and our own future. We must do this. We must start thinking this way. We've got to start taking responsibility now for providing for ourselves. Because there's no such thing as a free ride. There just isn't. There's always a cost. And we're starting to see what that cost is now. Anyway, back to the story. Over to you.
Thank you. The next one kind of plays into the Amazon and Alexa thing just a little bit. I came across this a little while ago, basically while we were streaming. EU set to unveil plans for block-wide digital wallet. When you see these flags, start to panic. I wonder how much money they've spent redoing all these flags now that we left. Or if they've had to at all. That's an interesting question. I'm not sure.
Exactly. Thank you, Roy Bob. Yes, we'd love to see that. Thank you very much. Might be coming useful for people who want to fight it.
Please do. The European Union set to unveil plans for a block-wide digital wallet on Wednesday, following requests for member states to find a safe way for citizens to access public and private services online. The app will allow citizens across the EU to securely access a range of private and public services with a single online ID, according to the Financial Times. kind of sounds a little bit like the COVID passport.
The digital version.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what the trust network is then. It was always going to be a digital version of the thing that you have to carry around.
Oh, without a doubt.
Although
This just sounds...
the government
Sorry.
has said that there'll be no domestic COVID passport, but you'll still need it to travel. But then the government says a lot of things that they don't mean, so we'll see. Or rather, a spokesman for the government actually didn't give a name. You know, like when the news or they write about the expert said, and they don't give you an actual name.
This whole thing is so incredibly dangerous because what's going to happen is you're going to start paying everything through via it. You're then going to miss a payment or something's going to go wrong, and there's going to be something that flags up on your account.
Yeah.
And then everyone is going to know. And that's how the Chinese thing
Social
started.
credit system.
Social
Yeah.
credit, thank you. I couldn't think what it was called. That's how the social credit thing starts. That's how we get it. And we've got the trust system coming our way.
The thing is, we're in a position now where they have too much power.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't start to reject this system, if we don't start to withdraw from it, we're going to be part of that group that they have power over. We do not have to accept this as our future. We do not. But that means that we've got to do something to create an alternative to it. We've got to do something. Bye, Anglo-Saxon. Take care. They probably made your battery die on purpose. On the reality stream. But it's true. We can't sit here and bemoan the fact that this is happening. We've got to talk about solutions and we've got to enact them. Otherwise, we're just talking and we're achieving nothing. And they'll win.
Which is kind of a little bit of what we're covering tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, it's a lot of what we're covering tomorrow. We have been working.
I didn't want to big it up too much.
We have been working on a few things, and we're going to do the big reveal tomorrow. But yeah, we do need to start getting involved, and we do need to start doing anything we can. And I know that not everyone can do the things that everyone else can do. Okay, this is about doing what you are comfortable with, but doing something. Doesn't matter what it is. Do something to change your fate. Could be a tiny thing or a massive thing. Doesn't matter. Do something. You'll feel so much better.
I really like that. Do something to change your fate.
Well, we can't just keep sitting here talking about the things they say are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are we going to do? Just, further down the line say, well, we knew it was going to happen, but we didn't actually do anything to stop it.
It doesn't do anything. It's like patting yourself on the back, even though you're in an awful position.
Exactly. I mean, identifying the problem is a massive goal. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. It's really important that we've identified that this is going on. But if we don't act on that information, nothing will change. There are too many good people to let this happen. Too many. We may not all be in the same place, but there are more than enough of us to make something change. We've just now got to work out the best way, a way that suits everyone. We're going to start working on a plan and start working on things that people can do. If it's something tiny or something large, it doesn't matter. As long as you do something, you have contributed to change. And not this new normal, not this great reset, none of this nonsense that the globalists want, something that benefits us. Ordinary people with ordinary lives. We've got to do something. Or this
That's why I'm so incredibly proud of both Andrew and Jonathan. Actually going out, doing the stands, going and talking to people. It's excellent.
Well, not just them. I think Michael and English Bird went out to stands as well.
Indeed, English Bird didn't have the most luck, it must be said, but everybody else did.
The answer for English Bird, unfortunately, is if your local park isn't doing a stand, you've got two options. You find your next nearest, or you can set one up yourself. If you've got a bunch of people you could take down, even if it's 2 or 3 of you. We're going to, well, I don't want to do any big reveals tonight because we're about to wrap up, but let's just say we're working on loads of projects and we're really going to kickstart it now. We've been a bit demoralised, and I know that other people have at various times throughout the last year. It's been a lot to take in. It's been a lot to process. But we are back and we are fighting fit and we are ready to go forward. We hope that you'll be on that journey with us, and that as we help you, you'll help us. Because if we do not help each other now, we are lost. And the things that we're going to come up with, anyone can take part in. We really do want to come together. We need to work like a team, like a community, and help each other and promote these ideas and get more people involved, because we have safety in numbers. I've always said this. It's the one thing we have going for us. We outnumber them by millions. Why are we letting them do this to us?
As we've said many times before, in the UK, there's about 110,000 coppers. More people fill out Old Trafford and Upton
Wembley
Park every weekend.
Yeah.
It's not difficult. We outnumber them by so much. More people fit into the MCG than we have coppers in this country. That's incredible.
And that's all of them. I mean, that's the number for all of them. Admin staff, the commissioners,
The little fat one.
Which one?
We all know.
The one eating a donut or the one picking his nose? But yes, so we can't ask anything of anyone else if we're not willing to help. So we're going to provide as much assistance, as much information, and as many opportunities for people to make changes as we possibly can. All we ask in return is, if you are able to, please help us. We're now just asking for help. No one is exempt from what's coming. Nobody is safe from what's coming. It's time to choose a side. Be on the right side. Let's make this happen. Let's make things change so they benefit us for once. We can do this. We just need to believe in ourselves and each other. We can do this. We will do this. Let's do this together. Oh, there you go. That's my final rant for the evening. Thank you, everyone who's joined us this evening. We've had a couple of weeks off. We've actually missed you all like crazy. We've missed streaming. We've had so much that we wanted to say. So many thanks we want to give as well. People who turn up every week, people who support us, people who hit like or subscribe. All of these things are important because they show unity, and we do appreciate it very much. So we will be back tomorrow at 7:30 UK time. If you are available, please join us. We've got loads of stuff to go through. We hope to really inspire people now to make these changes. We hope you'll be inspired by what we've got to say and got to share. And we will see you then.
Indeed.
Thank you all.
We will see you all tomorrow.
Take care, everyone.